Hello and welcome to Community Link. My name is Christian Hoffman. I'm the Vice President for Public Relations and Development at Community Missions. And this is our opportunity to talk a little bit about some of our programs that Community Missions offers out to the community, how that we might be able to benefit you, your family, your friends, etc., and how you might be able to help us to do just that to help the community. I'm joined today by Kelsey, Veronica, and Brittany, and we'll get to them in just a couple of moments as they talk to us about the Youth Rapid Rehousing program that Community Missions offers. But before that, we'd like to acknowledge a few different things that have been going on lately and some things to look forward to as well. We had our Niagara Path program had an end overdose rally that they've been having for the past couple of years, but it looked a little bit different. Now they're under our umbrella at Community Missions, and so we held that on August 31st at our main site in Niagara Falls. And we just thank everyone who was able to come out for that event. It was a remembrance for anyone within the county who had been lost over the past year due to an overdose event, and some help certainly for anyone that might be seeking some help to try to overcome substance use and abuse, and just trying to get the word out in the community about all the different ways that we can try to help out with what is such a difficult issue for so many. Along those lines, we also have our Snug Niagara Falls team that's been here a few times with us on Community Link. They've been out in the community quite a bit. They recently held a Unity Day and gave away some backpacks and different things. So please, if you're out in the community, be on the lookout for their bright blue shirts as they work to combat gun violence and build relationships with those who are at high risk for such gun violence. We have a couple of events coming up that we hope that you'll mark your calendars for, possibly come out to attend. On Saturday, September 28th, at our main site in Community Missions, 1570 Buffalo Avenue, we're going to be holding our third annual Pet Blessing. So this is for you to bring out your animal friends, whatever that, however many legs or that they may have, to come out and be blessed by local clergy. It's a fun event. It's also a time that we're collecting donations for our pet pantry, which operates whenever the food pantry is open. So pets certainly have the same needs as many of us as far as needing different supplies and food and all those different things. And so if you have any donations of something like that you'd like to give us, we certainly would encourage you to do so. If you have a dog, cat, snake, bird, we have some horses typically that come out as well. We certainly hope that you'll come out on September 28th. It'll be 10:30 to noon, I believe it is, or I'm sorry, 10 to 11:30. From 10 a.m. to 11:30 at our main site. And then the following weekend on Saturday, October 5th, will be a meat raffle. We used to hold meat raffles back before COVID on an annual basis. We haven't been able to get back into it until now, but tickets are still available and tables are still available as well. And so that's going to be held Saturday, October 5th on a Saturday night at the Socorro Post in North Tonawanda. So we certainly hope that you'll come out and have some fun, dress up, bring some costumes and such, and your money holders and whatever foods and snacks that you might want to have as well, and have a good time and help support so many of our programs that we operate at Community Missions. And the last one I'll mention is just after that on Tuesday, October 8th. It's going to be held at Bacon Memorial Presbyterian. That's in Niagara Falls, just down the street from our main site on Buffalo Avenue. And that is our annual interfaith prayer service for mental health, recovery, and understanding. So it's a neat event. It starts at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. It's going to be an opportunity for many different faiths to come together and pray for and talk about what recovery for mental illness looks like from their perspective. And so it's about an hour-long service or so, and then following that we're going to have a tabling event with refreshments and such that people can seek out help if they might need it, either for mental health or some substance use and recovery all together. So we hope that you'll mark your calendars for that event as well on Tuesday, October 8th at Bacon Memorial. So, a lot going on, as there typically always is at Community Missions. So I want to welcome, to my right is Kelsey Durfee. She is our Senior Rapid Rehousing Case Manager. To her right is Veronica Page, our Peer Support Specialist. And then to her right is Brittany DePietro, our Rapid Rehousing Case Manager. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So the Youth Rapid Rehousing Program we've had for a couple of years now. Kelsey, would you mind just walking us through what are the basics of Rapid Rehousing?
Yeah, so Rapid Rehousing housing program, we serve youth ages 18 to 24. We work on our housing first model. So it's basically taking those youth and making sure that they can find stable, supportive housing first to tackle the homelessness issue.
All right. And so what does that look like on a day-to-day basis, Brittany?
Yeah, so we check in regularly with our youth in the program. We help them with the goals that they set in the beginning of the program, especially with the assistance from the peers. You know, we provide resources and community connections, you know, based on whatever that individual youth need is. We do check in with them usually weekly to begin with, face to face, you know, so we do see them very frequently and, you know, talk to them.
You mentioned some of the goals. What kind of goals are we talking about typically that you might see from somebody in the program?
So a lot of it is, you know, employment goals, searching for the proper income to fund the housing and their rent. We also have educational goals. A lot of times they're going back for a GED or even furthering their education. We've had a few go through nursing programs, do CNA, that kind of thing. So we're really kind of just focusing on the whole person and making sure that they are positively, you know, contributing to society and also having a fun, happy life. So
that's the goal. That's always the goal,
yep,
right?
It sure is.
So Veronica, what is the peer specialist? What kind of role does that play in here?
I assist with daily living skills. We use the Casey Life Skills curriculum. So cooking, cleaning, shopping, the fun stuff.
Fun for some people at least, right? Yeah. So where does some of those things happen? Is that?
They can happen in the community. Okay. They can happen at Fall Street Station. They can happen in the youth apartment. Wherever the youth feels the most comfortable to do those.
Okay. So when they come into a program, into your program, they're looking for housing then? Or they don't typically have something?
They don't typically come in already having housing. Okay. So we work with them to find different apartments, looking for a safe place to go. Some we try and refer to the housing authority to also find some income-based programs that best fit their needs and their family, you know, workout. So yeah, definitely our first goal is to find that stable place to lay your head at night. So.
Which is not easy this time, I assume.
Yes, it is. Housing's always been a bit of a challenge, but we do have some really good relationships with different landlords in the city, a lot of different companies that are willing to work with us and work with our youth. So we definitely feel a good support from the community as well for that.
And are we talking Niagara County or Niagara Falls?
Niagara County. Okay. So we definitely have branched out to Lockport, you know, Tonawanda area. Most of our youth are in Niagara Falls, but they do have the option to be in all of Niagara County.
What is kind of the breakdown? Are we looking more on the younger end of the spectrum or the older end? So 18 to 24 isn't a huge spectrum, but is it pretty scattered? Or?
So it tends to be pretty evened out. Okay. On average, around the 21, 22 range. But I mean, honestly, as long as they are 24 before they're enrolled, we are able to help them.
All right, very good. And how many cases are we looking at? How many kids or youth are currently receiving services?
So currently we are at about 12. However, we can go up to 18 between me and Brittany for caseloads.
Gotcha. So for someone out there that's listening and understanding this, who makes a good candidate for the program, would you say? Brittany, go ahead.
You know, obviously, again, the age range of the 18 to 24, it would be, you know, a youth who is currently homeless or couch surfing or doesn't have a stable place to live. I mean, ultimately, those are kind of the main things that we look for with the youth. And then, ideally for our sake, somebody who's, motivated to really use this program. It's a year-long program, and really just progress throughout the year.
I was going to ask you about how long they can stay in the program. So what does that look like?
So yeah, it's a year in rapid rehousing. We start, like Kelsey mentioned, with housing first, finding them an apartment right off the bat, setting the goals that they have for themselves throughout the year, and again the income and making sure they have a way to be self-sufficient and eventually paying their rent 100% by the end of the year. So in the beginning, we help them. We pay 100% of their rent, and then I think it's pretty much quarterly increments, we slowly start to decrease what we pay, and then until they're 100% paying for their apartment.
Great. How does that typically work?
So each youth is different. If a youth is really determined to kind of get all of their goals in order, to spend time with the peers, learning all of those amazing and fun Casey life skills, they honestly have the opportunity to graduate earlier from the program, where they might not necessarily need us that entire year. We've definitely had a good amount of cases where they get about 6 months in and they've got this, they're doing great with their community resources, they're supporting their family, they're supporting themselves, and they really have proven that they are empowered and self-sufficient, and they don't need us anymore.
Veronica, so how do you typically find the youth that are in the program? Are they receptive to learning these life skills, or not so much typically, or what?
For the most part, yes. Sometimes it's challenging. I have to come up with unique ideas.
Okay.
But I would say for the most part that they take it and run with it.
I want to hear about the unique ideas. How do you try to make it fun for people?
Music, maybe doing like a tutorial on how to make something. I usually help them with it as well. Like, for example, cleaning, I will help them clean their apartment or their bedroom, show them good organization skills and things of that nature.
We could all use that. I think you mentioned earlier, perhaps, do we have many young parents that are in the program as well, or not as many?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Actually, most of our, I would say a good majority of them do have children themselves.
Okay.
So a lot of times we are helping them learn parenting skills, teach them where to engage and link them up with school programs, trying to look for school supplies. There is so many different things that we do both for the youth and then for their kids as well. So it really is a collaboration between everything. It's great to see when the little ones come with our youth and they hang out at Fall Street Station and they're all playing together, and it's just really, it's uplifting to see the little ones for sure.
Yeah. So I would imagine the life skills, certainly you're tailoring as to the single person, but the parents probably need a little bit different life skills, right?
It just depends on each client, whatever their specific needs are. So one client would need a certain way, and then another client might need another way. So it just depends on what they need during that time.
So what's your favorite thing to help teach?
The cooking, for
Cooking?
sure.
Okay.
I love cooking.
What's your favorite thing to teach somebody to cook?
Just simple things, like spaghetti or lasagna,